I need to tell someone what happened to me 3 nights ago. I've been sitting in my car since I got back. I haven't slept, I haven't eaten. Every time I close my eyes, I see those lights, that green glow. And I hear that sound again. That slow, wet, dragging across the floor. Let me start from the beginning. I'm an urban explorer, have been for 6 years. Abandoned factories, derelict hospitals, forgotten military bunkers. I've been inside all of them. I document them, I film them, I post the footage. Nothing has ever scared me enough to stop. Until 3 nights ago. A friend sent me coordinates, no explanation, no context, just a location pin and the message, "You need to see this, don't go at night." I went at night. I drove for almost 2 hours into a forest I didn't know, on a road that got narrower every kilometer, until the tarmac just stopped, became mud, became tire tracks. I followed the tracks another quarter mile through the pines until my headlights hit something solid and enormous and concrete rising out of the mist ahead of me. I turned the engine off. I sat there for a long moment just staring at it through the windscreen. It was massive, brutalist concrete, the kind they don't build anymore. Huge geometric blocks stacked and cantilevered in ways that didn't quite make visual sense. Enormous pipes running in rows across the front like the ribcage of something dead. And underneath those pipes, fluorescent strip lights, still burning after what looked like decades of abandonment, throwing this cold blue-green glow across the flooded courtyard in front of the building. And on the wall, carved directly into the concrete, not a sign, not a plaque, actually carved in, was the SCP Foundation logo. Now, I know what the SCP Foundation is. It's a fiction website, a collaborative horror writing project. That logo means nothing in the real world. I told myself that several times. Then I got out of the car. The first thing I noticed was the silence. It was raining. I could feel it on my face, on my jacket, but I couldn't hear it. No patter on the leaves, no sound at all. Just that low electrical hum from the fluorescent lights and my own footsteps in the water. Because the courtyard was flooded. Black water, completely still, ankle-deep in places. I shone my torch across it and something immediately felt wrong. The torchlight should scatter on water, should bounce and ripple and break up. This water just absorbed it. The beam went in and disappeared, like the depth underneath was infinite. I kept walking. I got under the pipe canopy and the lights above me were flickering. Not randomly, there was a rhythm to it. On, off, on, long pause, on. Like a heartbeat, a slow, sick heartbeat. I found the blast door open at the far end. I know, every part of me was saying, don't go through that door. My hands were already shaking. I could feel my pulse in my throat. I went through anyway. The corridor inside was long and narrow, and the walls were sweating cold moisture. The floor had a thin film of water on it, perfectly flat, perfectly black. The ceiling lights here were steadier but colder. They made everything look the color of something underwater. I walked for maybe 30 seconds before I heard it. A sound behind me, like something flat and heavy being dragged slowly across a wet floor. One long pull. Stop. Another pull. Stop. Getting closer. I spun around. Empty corridor. The sound had stopped. I stood there not breathing for a full minute. Nothing. Just the hum of the lights and the distant sound of rain I shouldn't have been able to hear anymore. I turned back around. There was something at the far end of the corridor. I couldn't tell you what it was. My brain kept refusing to process it properly. Like when you look at an optical illusion and your eyes just slide off it. It was tall, too tall. It was standing completely still, and it was facing me. I hit my torch. Darkness. I stood in the black and I did not move, and I did not breathe. The dragging sound started again, slower this time, deliberate. It went on for maybe 10 seconds, then it stopped. And I felt something standing directly in front of me. Not heard, not seen, felt. The way you feel a presence in a dark room before you know it's there. That horrible animal awareness that the space in front of you is no longer empty. I ran. I didn't turn my torch on. I just ran back the way I came, hands out in front of me, hitting the walls, tripping on the uneven floor, through the blast door, under the pipe canopy, across the flooded courtyard, and back into the trees. I got in my car. I locked the doors. I sat there with the engine running for 20 minutes, watching the building through the windscreen. Those lights still flickering, that green glow still reflecting in the black water. Nothing came out. Nothing followed me. I drove home. Here's the part that's kept me awake for 3 nights. When I got home, I checked my camera. I always run a chest mount camera when I explore, force of habit. I was going to review the footage. The footage from inside the corridor was normal. Me walking, the lights, the wet floor. Then the moment I turned around after hearing the dragging sound, the camera saw what my eyes refused to process. At the far end of the corridor, standing in the cold light, was a figure. Tall, arms too long, no face, just a smooth, pale surface tilted slightly downward, angled toward me. It was standing perfectly still. And here's the thing I cannot explain and cannot stop thinking about. In the footage, I turn my torch off. Darkness, 10 seconds of nothing but the sound of my breathing. Then, a single frame of light. One frame, a 24th of a second. In that frame, the figure is 6 inches in front of the camera. 6 inches from my face. In the dark, while I stood there thinking I was alone. It had crossed the entire length of that corridor without making a sound. And then I ran, and it let me. It let me go. I don't know why. I don't know what's in that building. I don't know what that thing was, or whether it's still there, or whether it followed me home in some way I don't understand yet. But I need you to know that place is real, and whatever is inside it is real. And if anyone ever sends you coordinates to a concrete building in the middle of a forest with that logo carved into the wall, don't go at night. Don't go at all.